And welcome everyone to the McKenzie Hour. This is the fastest show on internet radio. I am your host, Chad McKenzie, and joining me tonight is my lovely guest. This is Miss Gina Rene Ferguson, longtime paranormal investigator and a good friend of mine.
And a
Hello,
seasoned
Gina.
pro.
A
Seasoned
seasoned
pro.
pro. I should have put
Yes.
that in the list. If this is your first time checking me out, or if you've been a listener of paranormal radio in the past, you may have heard me. I had my own show a long time ago on Paramania Radio, Paranormally Correct. And then I teamed up with Joe and Tracy of Awakening Radio, and we became Paranormally Awake because we made that little cool wordplay. That network ended, and I've took about, I don't know, 9 years off, or 8 years, 8 year vacation from internet radio, and here I am. I'm back. So if you're a
Yeah.
returning listener, I love you. Thank you for listening. If you're a new listener, I hope you enjoy. I promise to keep it fast paced and move along as quickly as possible. So, Miss Gina, let's
Yes.
let's talk about you for a minute. Tell me how you got started in the paranormal. And then what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about locations that our group, because we don't call ourselves a team, we're a group of friends that go all over the place visiting supposed haunted locations. But tell me, how'd you get started?
So I guess like everybody else, there was always a curiosity in me about the paranormal. From the time I was little, my great grandmother passed away in my house when I was 10 years old. And a friend of mine actually saw what we believed to be her full bodied apparition one day. She actually pointed her out in a picture. So since then, of course, I was all interested in ghosts and spooky things. And is it real? Is it not real? First real location that I ever went to that really got me into the paranormal and actually researching it and buying equipment was Waverly Hills. I went to Waverly Hills in, I believe it was around 2008, and went with a group of 10 friends that I went to high school with. And we went and did a private overnight. Um, I got one really cool picture, which to this day is probably one of the coolest pictures I've ever gotten. And I was instantly hooked. And I've been in it ever since. So, been here since 2008, 2009.
2008. See, you're a seasoned pro.
Yeah.
You are a seasoned pro. So tell the listeners, we have a group of people that travel together. I would like to call us family.
Mhm.
Um, but tell us a little bit about this group. When did we get started? Our name. You don't have to. You can just give and anything that people might want to do to look you up. Facebook pages, anything like
Okay.
that. How can they find our group and you?
So I think that we actually got started doing this together as a group around 2012,
I
maybe
would,
13.
yeah, about that, about
I think
12.
so. About 2012, 2013. I met Chad at Middle Creek Battlefield. I showed up one night and they do a ghost walk during the reenactment. And Chad was one of the hosts at the ghost walk. That's how we met. Um, which other members right now, we've got Tennille, Brad, Heather, Brittany, and Dr. Jim. And everybody I've met through investigations over the years, whether it was at a public investigation or an event at a haunted location, met several people at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital that used to be in Tennessee. And
Hmm.
I kind of just went through, and the people that I bonded with and I enjoyed investigating with and I had a good time with, we just kind of banded together like our little misfit family and started, going to all the big pay to play locations because it's easier when you've got a group of people, at least, 5 to 10 people, and we've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's neat how we all came together because we're
Yeah.
we're we're not local to each other. I mean, you and I
No,
are
no.
fairly local, and
Yeah.
Heather's local.
Yeah,
Um,
Heather's local.
but Bradenton
North
Hills, North
Carolina.
Carolina, we got Tennessee covered,
Uh-huh.
West Virginia and Kentucky and
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
um,
So
and
we travel from all over the place.
and
And
it's funny you called us kind of like misfits because
we are
we
spit paper.
we're the cantankerous people. I think we're cantankerous.
We
We
are.
don't go to the paranormal conferences and kiss butt
Nope.
because we've been doing it longer than most of the people at the paranormal.
Been
You
there,
know,
done that.
yeah.
Been there,
So
done
I,
that.
I love verifiable history in this field because I've run across so many people that'll be like, "Oh, I've been doing this 20 years," and I'm like, "Well, that's really strange because you called me 4 years ago looking to go out on your first
Yeah,
investigation. How'd you pull that one off?" But
exactly. We know how long we've been doing it,
yeah,
and we we know each other well enough to know that we like Chad said, we are family, but it's hard to find a good group of people to go places with like that you can actually trust too,
yes,
because you can't. It's hard for paranormal researchers to go to locations like Waverly and Trans Allegheny. um they're expensive for one, and you
yep.
don't want to go on a public tour because there's so many people on them, and you don't know who you can trust and if you can leave your equipment laying. And that's a big deal. That's a really
It
big deal.
it is, and that trust extends to other aspects. Like
Exactly.
if you come back, if
Mhm,
you've been out by yourself, or if Brad
mhm,
and Tennille's been out together, or Heather, or any one
mhm.
of our group comes back and says, "Hey, I saw something on the
Yes.
third floor that I cannot explain in room 121 or whatever." Okay, I know for a fact that they're telling
We're
the
going
truth.
to room
Yeah,
121.
and we're going to room 121. But I know that nobody in our group, because we've went, and we're going to talk about that here, like any second we're going to start. But we have went to many locations where absolutely nothing happened. It was a great
Yeah.
location. It was fun. It was historical. It was nice.
Yeah.
And, but we really didn't have anything happen outside of maybe catching a bat, but we had nothing happen, and we didn't force anything to say, "Oh, well,
No.
now I believe over here, you know,
Oh
old
yeah.
Bob that died in 1880 was looking at me." We don't make stuff up. We just,
No.
if it happens, it happens. If it
No,
don't,
it
well,
does.
then we just sit around and talk and eat really well and enjoy each other's company.
And enjoy each other's company for the weekend, and then we go on.
So, now that and by the way, I hope that the group is listening. And if you are, love you guys, and we'll see you in October. No, September, we're going to Trans
September.
Allegheny, and then October,
Yes.
we're going to Post Elementary in Ohio.
Yes.
So interesting. Now, we've not been to Poasttown yet, or I
No.
have, but I was there for a conference.
Right. I don't. None of the rest of us have been to Poasttown yet.
Yeah.
So.
And I was there, for like I said, for a conference. So there's a lot of people there. But even with that, there were some creepy things in that place. So I look
Mhm.
forward to it. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, Daryl's super cool. So we'll
Yeah.
have a great time while we're up there.
Yeah. I'm
And
excited.
but so with that being said, let's talk about what we're here for. And hopefully, if someone is maybe new to the field, or they've not done, maybe their team hasn't done any pay to play places.
Mhm.
Hopefully, this is the type of show that can help them out because
Yeah.
unfortunately, we spent a fortune in the last few years going to pay to play places. So
Yes.
let's start with kind of one of our first favorites and home run hitters that we went to religiously,
Mm-hmm.
almost the same week every year for quite a
Every
while,
year.
and that was
Uh-huh.
St. Albans Sanatorium. And that's
Yes.
in Radford, Virginia, for anyone that's wanting to look that up. So let's talk about. Tell me about St. Albans. What did you like about St. Albans?
Oh, what do I like about St. Albans? St. Albans is one of those locations that you're there. And like I said, we usually spend a weekend when we go to most of these
Yeah,
places because we're
yeah,
traveling from so many different places. It's just easier.
yes.
And St. Albans is one of those locations that we always were there the entire weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it has the it has a very calming energy, and it's quiet, it's relaxing, and you can get really comfortable there. But you also can get the snot scared out of you in an instant. I
Out
mean,
of
it's
nowhere.
that, and it's like, yeah, and it's like daylight and dark. Like it can be so quiet, and then bam, and you're like, oh,
Yes.
what just happened? What
Yeah, I
just
know. I know.
happened?
Um, and what's cool is we sleep in these locations too. We don't
Mhm.
we don't rent a hotel nearby, so
No.
we sleep there. So you really get to experience the building in the day and in the night, in the morning,
Mhm.
in the evening, afternoon. You're there 24/7, for
Yeah.
a few days. So it's really cool. St. Albans was the first pay to play that I ever went to. You invited me, and that's where
Yeah.
we named our group at St. Albans.
That is where we named our
And
group.
so
Yes.
St. Albans for the longest time was like the most important thing in the world to me as far as the paranormal goes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
absolutely 100% loved it.
Hmm.
And uh and you
Right.
hit the nail on the head. It can be comfortable, and
Yeah.
it can be quiet, and it can be peaceful. And
Yeah.
then within 5, 10 minutes, you can go through a moment where you just break out into chills and even
Yeah.
cold sweats, and you can't explain it. And you feel
Mhm.
like there's 1,000 people staring at you. And,
That's
and,
it.
and we'll talk about an experience that you and I had. If for the listeners,
Yeah.
there's a place in
Yes.
St. Albans called the Suicide Bathrooms,
Mhm.
and apparently it's historically correct that at one point in time they housed girls up there, and there
Right.
was some girls that committed. There was two girls, I think, that committed suicide. One in a bathroom, and then I think the other one was in a room, or was they both in that bathroom?
I think they were both in the bathroom.
Okay, and so there's a room because this was like at that time you know there was a boys' school to that, and then there was
Mhm.
these girls living there in the top floor of one wing of the place, and there was a community bathroom there, and outside of that there was a room, and me and Gina was sitting on the floor, totally dark. There
Yep.
was a doorway in front of us, and you could make out the doorway and the next big room, which also had rooms where the girls slept. So
Right.
I can't remember exactly if we heard a noise or we heard something, but it caused either you or I to say hello,
Mhm.
and then plain as day, a female from that doorway said hello back to us.
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
I was hooked. I was like, I'm moving into St.
That's
Albans or I'm
it.
moving to Radford,
I'm
Virginia.
done. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're here. We're here to stay.
So
Um,
that was
that was amazing. And
it
we
was.
also had um downstairs in the basement. It used to be the electroshock therapy room. I don't
Yeah.
know if you
Yeah.
remember this.
Yes. Yes.
But it was you and I down there, and we saw a light outside the room, and we looked, and it looked like somebody walking with their flashlight, because that was the kind of light it was. You see the flashlight, you see the light beaming
Mm-hmm.
down through there, and we're waiting on one of the group to round the corner, and nobody ever comes. And then it just kind of it's just gone. So we never heard anything else, and we're like, that's weird. And we even went back because there was a camera right outside that room, and we
Mm-hmm.
got him to play because they have security there on the premises with you when you spend the night, and they're always recording. So if you think you've missed something, you can get them to look at their cameras and check it out. And we had them run those cameras back, and absolutely nothing showed up on that camera.
I know.
So we were the only ones that saw that.
Yeah. And there was a camera in the upstairs
Yeah.
where we were at when we heard
Yeah.
the girl say hello, and
Yeah.
nothing showed up on that
Nothing.
camera as well.
Nothing.
So, um,
Wow.
yeah, it's a place that'll always be. We haven't been in a while because we're going to talk about
Yes.
another place later that sort of
Yeah.
took its place
Yeah.
in the pecking order, and there's very good reasons
Yeah.
at
Oh
the other
yeah.
place. But St. Albans, if you're out there and you've not been and you're thinking about going,
Yes.
I would recommend anyone to go.
Yes.
Especially the history alone. The location is beautiful. The history is amazing. Um, and then also, if you've not been, it's a great place to get broke into having a massive building to investigate in because it's a
Yes.
massive place.
And
And
it's secure because
yeah,
you've got security there, and it's not like, it's not a huge place that you're investigating and you don't even know if all of your entrances and exits are secured. You know that you're secure, and you know that nobody's in there that's not supposed to be in there.
Yeah. You have a password.
Yes, you have a password.
Do you remember any of our passwords?
Oh yeah, I remember some of our passwords.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Um, yeah, we'll get kicked off the air if we start talking about some of the passwords that
Yeah,
we've
let's
had.
not.
But I would give St. Albans, I would give it definitely a thumbs up for people that they would want to visit there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely. It's worth the money. If you can't do the 2 nights, just do the 1 night private, but it's worth it.
yeah. So
Dun, dun,
let's
dun.
yeah, we'll move on. Let's see. Where can we talk about next? Let's talk. I want to save the best for last.
Okay.
I want to save what
Okay.
replaced St. Albans as our favorite place. So
We'll save that.
we have been to a lot of places as a
We
group.
have.
Um,
We've been to a lot of places.
Another interesting place. I wanted to bring this up because you don't hear about this,
Mhm.
and we won't spend much time on it, but you don't hear about this in the paranormal community much. But there's a little place up in northern Ohio, and
Mhm.
it is called All Glaze Village. And I think I would recommend anyone in the spring or the fall of the year to jump all over a trip to All Glaze Village.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
it's not demonic and all this junk that people claim places are, but it just to tell you what it is, if you've never been, it's a village. It's not a village that was transferred there from the same town, but they saved a bunch of old houses and cabins and churches and buildings from the surrounding from hundreds of miles and transported them here, and they made a village. And that's why they call it All Glaze Village.
Yeah,
And it's fantastic. It is
it
so,
really is.
yes, it's so nice. It's so
It's a little
relaxing.
mosh posh of everything. You
Yeah.
know, you have a
And
schoolhouse, you have a church, you even have a building where they house German war prisoners.
yes, that of course that building came from somewhere else, but
Yeah,
the building was located in Ohio
yeah.
originally, and that's where they were storing German prisoners of war.
Mhm.
And then it got moved to All Glaze. Now, we'll hit a couple of quick because my show's only an hour. That's why I call it the quickest hour on the internet
Man, I don't
radio.
know.
So
Yeah.
we'll hit a couple of quick things. That was my first weekend with a thermal imager,
Mhm.
and there is a church there, and it came from somewhere else, obviously. And I got lots and lots of odd things happening. I got some EVPs in that church, but the neatest thing that I got was I had my thermal imager, and I was just scanning down the pews and up in you remember this, I'm sure,
Oh, yeah, I do.
up in the corner of next to like there's an organ, I believe. There's a
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
piano
so.
or an organ.
Yeah.
And up there and I just scanned by and didn't even I wasn't even looking, at what I was basically filming. It was kind of hard to. And then
Yeah.
after we left the church, because everyone came in and we all experienced some cool things in there. And then after we left, I was looking and reviewing what I got, and I got the perfect shape
Oh,
of
yeah.
a torso of a man. And it was you could see the shoulders, you could see, the head, you could
Yeah.
see it all. It was and
Yeah.
we even gave it to the gentleman that runs the place. We showed him, he loved it. It was a cool piece of
It was
evidence.
really cool. It was really cool. And if I'm not mistaken, like you scanned and it was there, and then you scanned back by it and there was nothing
Yeah.
there, wasn't
Yeah.
there? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was panning from to my right,
Hmm.
and then I passed it, and I pointed um at like the pulpit area,
Yeah.
and then I came back and it was gone. There was
And it
nothing
wasn't
there.
there.
And it wasn't a window, it wasn't anything that was
Mm.
reflective. It was a wall, and I didn't reflect because I was a good 35, 40 feet away, and I didn't move. I was sitting down.
Yeah.
So that was a cool piece of evidence. And then we had an interesting thing happen that we were all there for because I like these when there's multiple people.
Multiple.
Yeah, to
I
talk
like
about what
having,
happened.
yeah, I like having people that you can confirm that everybody
Yes.
experienced the same
And
thing.
and this is like been a debate in the paranormal community for quite a while about let's say you're in Russia and you're investigating, why do you get English EVPs? Well, this was a situation that was pretty interesting because that was a
Mhm.
building that was used to house German prisoners of war. So
Yeah.
we were using a ghost box, right? That was a ghost box we were using, wasn't it? No,
No,
we were
it,
using this crazy app.
it was that app.
Yeah, we were using a crazy app, and I
I can't
can't remember
remember
the
what it's
name of
called.
it, but we started getting German words
Yeah.
across the app because I took German in high school, and I was like, wait a minute, that's German. And I
Yeah.
started asking what little bit of German that I know. I started trying to ask questions in German, and we were getting German answers.
And yeah, it was
And
wild.
and if I'm not mistaken, one of the ladies was using her phone to look up, I would, the German word.
To
We
look
would
up the translation.
yeah, to look up the translation
Yeah.
and see what they were saying. But it
Yeah.
was one of the only times I've ever heard an EVP in a foreign language.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So,
It's the only time I have.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was another thing that happened there that was super cool. Again, nothing there is like demonic, and
No.
you're
No.
not gonna be in a paranormal lockdown because
No.
you walk around. There's several cabins. There's old buildings. There's an old
Mhm.
doctor that was an actual physician's office back, in the 1800s. It's there. A bunch of equipment from the physician's office in there with it.
Old
It's
post office.
Yeah, there's an old post office. So it's really you just take a walk back in time and you go
Yeah,
there with a
it
bunch of friends and
is.
you build you a bonfire and you have a ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's All Glaze Village. It's
And
relaxing. The
yes.
community's beautiful. And while we're in the north, let's head southwest from there or maybe due west and let's go over to Indiana to a little place called Randolph County Infirmary. Is that right? Did I get that name right?
Randolph. Randolph. Is it Randolph County? Or is it the Randolph? And I think it's just the Randolph.
It could just be the Randolph. Now they're calling it, according to the professional ghost hunters on TV, it is now a sanitarium or an asylum. It's now an asylum.
Yes, it's an
Yeah, it's an
asylum
asylum. Yeah,
now.
but it wasn't an
Yes.
asylum until they needed
No,
it to be an asylum to get people
no,
to watch their TV
it
show.
was a poorhouse.
It's
It's
Winchester, Indiana.
Yeah,
Yep.
Winchester, Indiana, and that's what it was. It was a poorhouse, which pretty much they took in people, your degenerates, your alcoholics, homeless people, all the likes of that were taken in there and housed. And of course, you did have some people that had mental problems, yes,
Yeah.
but no, it wasn't a sanitarium or a sanatorium or a anything like asylum.
No,
It
no, definitely
was
not an asylum.
a poorhouse.
But
Mhm.
it doesn't it sound more cool that it
It
was an
does.
asylum? Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds a
with
lot cooler.
completely crazy psycho people that was locked in,
Yeah.
even though there was no locks on the doors. You
Yeah.
could just come and go as you pleased.
No, there
So
was one jail cell. There's one
yeah,
jail
yeah,
cell.
there's one jail cell that you got time out. You got put in the jail cell,
Yeah.
get your ass
Yeah.
up there. But
Yeah.
so tell me then, what did you think? What do you think about that place? Is that a thumbs up?
Randolph.
Do you tell people to go
I
there?
thumbs up it. I definitely thumbs up it. It's got some really cool history attached with it. Um, and it is activity wise. We had quite a bit of activity. Both, I think I've been there twice. I think you've been there once.
Hmm.
I think I've been there
You,
twice
you went
now.
before me. You went
Yeah.
before I rejoined the group.
And it was had some really good activity both times. So yes, thumbs up.
Yeah,
What do you think?
and definitely by the way, to go back, all glaze, thumbs up.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, oh for
forgot to give
sure.
it a thumbs.
For sure.
But the Randolph, yeah, we went during the middle of winter and it was brutal. If
It
you
was brutal.
remember, Brad and Tennille, the alternator went out on their van. So me and
Oh, I
Brad, I
remember that.
stood
It was
out there while
awful.
Brad changed the alternator. So yeah, it was brutal. The temperature was brutal, but like all glaze
Yeah.
lets you stay there. Um,
It was
the Randolph,
comfortable.
the Randolph had a nice heated rooms that you
Uh-huh.
could stay in, and there's a portion of it that is set up really nice to be able to have a place to put equipment
Yeah.
and a place to take a break and stage.
Kitchen,
That was, yeah, there's
all
a
that.
kitchen. It was super
Mhm.
cool. Now, two things that I want to mention because I know you had more happen at Randolph, I'm sure, because you went there twice. But two things that happened when I was there. Again, this was thermal,
Hmm.
and I wish that the whole group was on here with us because
Yeah.
Brad seen this, and then the whole group seen something else. But so
Mhm.
we're all deciding to walk down. I believe it's in the basement, and there was a galley in the basement. I call it a galley because I worked on the boat.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was a kitchen.
Yeah.
And so as we're walking through, we're meandering through a couple of different rooms. And remember, this is the middle of winter. It is, we're bundled up. It was brutally cold and
It's
snowing.
not.
Yeah, it was cold. And I noticed on my thermal, I noticed something very, very odd. Um,
Mhm.
on a very cold basement floor, I picked up footprints, and not just, I mean, we tried it with shoes, and it walking didn't do it. If you stood there for a minute, it would do it. But we were all, everyone was walking ahead of me, and we never stopped. And I
No.
noticed, but these, you could see toes. They were footprints. They weren't shoe prints. They were footprints. And I was like, Brad, come here, hurry, hurry. And I got Brad over and showed him the screen, and you could see the footprints. And then in a matter of a few minutes or a couple minutes, they dissipated and
Oh
they were
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
But we saw the footprints. So then we move our way in, and to set the table for everyone here about what this looked like. Uh, there was this big island, like imagine the island in a kitchen, and it was a stainless steel countertop
Yeah.
on this island. Or I don't know, might not have been stainless steel, but it was definitely some type of a,
It was, yeah, it
I
was
believe
the
it.
metal, it was
Yeah, it
silver,
was
it
something.
looked like stainless
And
steel.
so
Yeah.
we decide that we're gonna set up there, and we're gonna talk, and we set out some rope lights that work off EMF. And so we all take a spot around this table. Some stood off to the side, and um, we're getting hits on the rope lights, and it was really cool. And we were all, you could feel some energy in this room, and it was neat. And then as we're all getting ready to leave, we noticed, I was again scanning with the thermal, and the way that we were at this table, I was, like, say I was at the head of the table.
Yeah.
Um, Around to my left was Brad, but it was a fairly significant distance around to my left. And then we had someone standing in one doorway, and I think some of us even went back and went in the cooler, the part
Yeah.
that was like a cooler. Okay, so we
Yeah.
had somebody walk back there, but no one at any point in time
Mhm.
ever came between me and Brad.
No.
They
No.
never did because the rope lights give off a glow, so it wasn't pitch black. You could see just fine. We could see each other just fine, but
Yeah.
no one ever came between me and Brad. And
No.
me and Brad were about 6 feet apart at this table. So then as we're leaving, I'm just doing one more sweep with my thermal, and I noticed that you could see where I had my arms on the table, and you could see where Brad had his arms on the table showing hot spots, and then in between us, someone else had their arms on the table.
Uh-huh.
So, so,
So neat.
yeah, someone joined us, and
Yeah.
they stood and leaned on the table just like we were, right between me and Brad.
Mhm.
And, that
That
was,
was really cool.
yeah, it was super cool. So,
Really cool.
uh, mixing the beauty of the outside of the building, and the
Yeah.
fact that it's comfortable, and it's pretty clean, and then you've got a
Mhm.
restroom, and you can stay there and sleep there. I would recommend anyone to make the trip to Randolph,
Thumbs
because
up for
it's
sure.
it's not an asylum. There's not murderous demonic spirits. It's just
No.
it's a cool ass place with a great history, and it's definitely worth going to.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. So God, we've not hit a place that sucked yet. We've went nothing but thumbs up.
I know.
Okay, so let's talk about a place where we didn't really have anything happen. Let's go to Fairfield.
Okay.
Let's take a
Yeah.
trip, and we're going to go to Southern Ohio, Southeastern Ohio. And
Hmm.
that is what? Fairfield what? Is it an infirmary?
Fairfield County Infirmary.
Maybe that's where I was trying to say Randolph County.
I think that's
Now,
what it was.
if you work at Fairfield or you own it and you're listening to my show, we're not bashing your place, because
Absolutely not.
there's been other people go there and have lots of activity. It's,
Hmm.
these things don't dance for a show, so you never
No.
know.
No.
Um, My impression of Fairfield is I'm sure that things could happen while you're there. It's an old building with a ton of history, a lot of energy. It's really neat looking. And again, it's a place that you get to stay. You can stay
Mhm.
there. Not to mention, you're in a super cool little town with all
Oh
kinds of
yeah.
great places to eat.
And you've got Twisty's school bus.
Yes,
Twisty from American Horror Story got his school
yes,
bus outside.
yes, yes, you do. So
Yeah.
that is cool.
Yeah.
Um, paranormal wise, we didn't really have much happen.
We didn't. No, we didn't. It was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
But like you said, at the same time, almost everyone I know and groups that I trust have went there and had some really cool activity.
Hmm.
But like I said, we can't get them to perform on cue.
No, it it it's a place that's pretty close to where I live now,
Yeah.
and I would go back in the right circumstances just
Uh huh.
because it's relaxing and the town is neat.
Hmm.
I don't long to go back
No.
because I didn't. I mean, as far as like, what this is going to sound funny to go back and just visit the town excites me more than to go back and ghost hunt the town.
Yeah,
I
I
hate to.
have to agree. I'm so sorry. Like Adam Kimmel, you rock. But we just didn't have a lot happen.
No, and so naturally, that
Yeah,
since we
it's
didn't have
not
a lot
one that
happen,
just
it's just,
super sticks
yeah,
out.
it
And
just doesn't.
I'm not gonna give it a thumbs down. Go
No,
for it. But we just didn't have anything happen.
yeah, yeah. We're just giving opinions of
Yeah.
places. That's all anyway. Um, let's see, where else can we go? We went to the Nickerson Sneed House,
Uh-huh.
outside of it's in Southwest Virginia.
Hmm.
You can Google it and find it if you're interested. It's kind of just a large house.
Yeah,
I mean, that's really all it is. It's old as shit.
it is
Yes, and
old
and you can again stay
and
in
cool
this
looking.
place.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can stay in it, and the rooms are actually furnished. It's got beds,
Yeah.
and some are. I wouldn't call the beds comfortable, but some of the rooms are quite beautiful.
No.
But
No, beds are not
whew, the
comfortable at
beds,
all.
yeah, it is not a hojo.
Unless
It is
they've
not a
upgraded.
hojo.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Um, we had some things happen
We
there.
did.
Yeah.
We did have a few things happen. It is a location that, it's close. It's close for me. It's close for you and Heather and Brittany, a little bit farther for Tennille and Brad. Um, would I go if I had to drive a really long distance for it? No,
No.
I wouldn't. But being that it's close, I would go back and the price is cheap. But if you're
Hmm.
driving a long distance, it may not be one you want to put on your list.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't, in good faith for the paranormal side of things, give it a thumbs up.
Right,
But
right.
if you're close to Southwest Virginia and you're looking for something to do paranormal wise, it's in the middle of winter. You're
Yeah,
looking for a place to hang. That's a place you can hang.
yeah, it's
It's
cool.
just don't expect to be, lifted up off the ground and carried through the
Nope,
building by your hair.
nope, it's
'Cause
not going to happen.
it's not
Not going
going
to
to
happen.
happen. No,
Uh-uh.
negative Ghost Rider. Um, so I've saved one is, super popular and everybody's going to recognize it right off the bat, and we'll put it next to last. So let's move back up into Indiana.
Yes,
And I know
where
you love this place.
I do.
So
I do.
tell us where we're going next.
Indiana State Sanatorium, and we are in Rock Rockfield. Is it Rockfield, Indiana?
It's Rock something. It's right above Terre Haute.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And the fella that owns it, he also owns a village that's close by. It's Billy Creek Village,
Billy
which
Creek
is
Village.
like, yeah, which is like All Glaze that we were talking about earlier. It's got a mesh of buildings from all different places that they've brought together and made this village. And this one, like they even have the general store in it opened and everything.
Yeah. And you
Um,
can you can see that on Destination Fear.
yeah,
They went to
yeah.
Billy Creek Village.
And then he also has the historic Stark Saloon. that they're opening up now. Um, well, I think it opened up maybe a couple of years ago, but
Excuse me.
if you if it's a place you want to visit, if you want to go to one of those other locations when you rent out Indiana State Sanatorium, if you do 2 nights, they'll let you go out and
Yeah.
visit one of the other locations. But I'm a big fan of Indiana State Sanatorium. Have I had anything particularly crazy happen there yet? No, but it's just got that energy to it that it draws me in. It draws me in. It's a
Yeah.
long and it's a long drive too for
It
most of
is it
us.
is a long drive. It
Yeah,
is.
it's a long drive for most of us, but I don't know. It's just got that it just pulls me in.
Yeah. And I'm like you. I've only went one time. I know you've
Mhm,
been several now.
mhm.
I think maybe three times. Um,
Yeah, I think so.
and it's strange because the one time we went, we had it just was storming terribly, lightning,
Oh,
thunder, rain the whole
tornadoes all
weekend.
around
Yeah,
us.
tornadoes all
Yeah.
around us, and the building has some problems with its roofing and its watershed. So down through the elevator shafts, it was basically a waterfall. So it
Mhm.
was crazy hard to record any audio in there
Yeah.
because it was overwhelmed by the sound of water.
Yes.
uh, I'm like you. It's so strange, and this is going to sound weird to people listening because they're going to say, "What's he talking about?" But
Mhm.
uh, I had not really much happen either. There was a few things that were could have possibly been a
Right.
play on light or something, but
Yeah.
there was a few things that were kind of interesting that happened.
Mhm.
But I never had that one thing that jumped out and said, "Okay, this place is wild."
Yeah.
But yet I would go back this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just there's something in that energy that just pulls you to it. I feel it has the potential. It has the potential to for some really amazing things to happen.
Agreed.
Um, I definitely believe that. So yes.
And it's beautiful and it's insanely large.
A huge. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got what? Let's see, the superintendent's mansion, the old tuberculosis hospital, the old nursing home, and the old insane asylum. And you've got access to all those buildings, plus underground tunnels.
Yes.
And then they have another area fixed up that you can sleep in. It's a commercial building they fixed up that you can sleep in on the property as well. And eventually they're working on turning, well, I think they had a fire, but they are working on the superintendent's mansion is going to be a bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to everyone that's listening, it's one of those places where we didn't really have a lot happen. But agreeing with Gina, I think that you get the feeling the whole time you're in there
Hmm.
that literally anything could happen at any
Yeah.
time.
I
I think
never feel really comfortable
no, you
in
don't.
there. I
Um,
always feel, that just like something's like you want to look over your shoulder all the time. I don't,
yes.
yeah,
And
it's
the
there.
the
It's,
drive it's central Indiana, so
hmm,
depending on where you're located, that'll tell you. But the area is beautiful.
yeah,
The
yeah,
building is super cool,
hmm,
um, and there's a little town next to it, and the little town is great. All
yep,
kinds of it's like a little artsy town. So there's a lot of cool towns around it. You travel through a lot of neat places to get there. I
mhm,
would definitely tell people to go to Indiana State.
yes. And if you go, I think it's between November and December, maybe through the end of March. That's considered their winter hours. And you get a discount, a significant
Yeah,
discount during
yeah,
that time of year. So,
yeah.
yeah, if you can hack it, if you can handle the cold, your sleeping area is warm, but your investigation could be very, very cold. As long as you can handle it, I suggest that and
Yeah.
saving yourself some money.
Yep.
Yeah,
Get yourself some heated gear, grab nine other friends and go to Indiana State and save some
that's right.
cash.
That's right.
All right. Well, we're down to like less than 20 minutes left in
Oh,
showtime.
wow.
And I know we've been flying through stuff, but that's what I
Mhm.
promise. I promise to be
Right?
fast. So, there's a lot of places that you've been that I haven't been,
Mhm.
because I've not been doing the pay to play as
Right.
often. But before we go to our favorite and before we go to the big one that everybody knows about, is there any
Mhm.
other that you can remember that we've been to that I'm missing? Because I, for some reason, feel like I'm drawing a blank.
Mhm.
I think a lot of we go to the same places more than once sometimes.
We
So
did.
yeah.
We
So
did.
instead of trying new places, we went back to give other places a chance.
I think we don't do well with change. We get on one
Yeah.
thing and we,
Well, there's one place we're going to talk about. It's really hard not to go back because of what we
yes,
experienced. So it's yeah.
100%.
And if it
Um, yeah.
yeah. So let's go to Kentucky and we're going to go down on the Ohio River. And we're going to go to a part of Kentucky that really should belong to Indiana because it just should. But we're going to go just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. And we're going to go to Waverly Hills now.
Yes.
And I
Waverly
know
Hills.
that Waverly Hills was important to you
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it you experienced something at Waverly Hills.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
Now, you've been more than I have.
Yeah.
I've been twice because if you remember, we went once, and again, we're gonna talk about something here that
Yeah.
it don't not go to Waverly Hills because of what we're saying. But we
Right.
had we had an issue with an employee,
Yes, we did.
and we complained, and so we got to come back
Yeah.
again for free.
Hmm.
So I would say this, um, good. That's kudos to Waverly Hills because they didn't
Yeah.
just say, "Well, tough," you know.
No.
They
No.
they gave us they even let us stay in their bunkhouse that they built, which is
Yeah.
super damn nice.
Oh, it is very nice. Very nice. It's on the property. You can't once you're done with your investigation at Waverly, once that time's up though, you can't come back on Waverly's property. So you go or back up to the main building, to the
Yeah,
sanatorium. Once you
yeah,
go down to the bunkhouse, of course you have to stay at the bunkhouse.
yeah.
Um, but with that being said, Waverly Hills, yes, it does have a very special place in my heart. Because it was like my first real location, investigation, pay to play, everything all wrapped up into one. Um, and that first trip was the only time that I've had really off the charts activity too.
Hmm.
Now, my returning times, and I can't tell you how many times I've been there right now, just because I've went with other groups that have a spot open. Um, just because I like the place and I love the owners. Um, but I've never had a lot of activity since that first trip there. I just don't.
Yeah,
Um,
and
I
I've
can't
been
make it happen.
I've been twice,
Yeah.
and um, the first time was following a pretty significant knee injury, so
Mhm.
I struggled. I was
Yeah.
on
Yeah. It was
crutches,
like,
and Waverly Hills on crutches. If anybody's out there and you've been to Waverly Hills on crutches is just miserable.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! And it was wintertime. And then when we came back, it was wintertime. Still,
It
we came
was.
back and it was cold,
Came back
but
in February.
I was
Went the
walking
first time in
better.
like December, came back in February.
Yeah, I was walking better the second time,
Yeah.
but Waverly Hills is notorious, man. That's all you hear. And that was my bucket list place. That was like
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
could if it was in the United States, staying in the United States, Waverly Hills was my coup de grace. That's where I wanted to go.
Hmm.
Now I would rather go if I could go all over the world, there'd be other places I'd want to investigate. But
Yeah.
Waverly Hills in the United States, that's the happening joint.
Yeah.
We watch all the TV shows go to Waverly Hills.
Yeah.
We've watched ghost hunters do live events there where they rigged
Yeah.
up their jackets to get pulled. We've watched
Hmm.
Zach Bagans get chased by demonic monsters and get possessed at Waverly Hills. We've seen all this.
Yes.
So we went twice. And one time, okay, both times I had, no, it was all in the second time. The first time, nothing happened for me. It
No.
was nothing at all. I mean, it was just
Yep.
like a big, empty, cold concrete slab.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt scared. I never felt nothing. I could have ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and sat right there the whole night and never
Yeah.
felt bad about
Yeah.
it. The second time we went, I had um me and Brittany were in the basement area, not near the morgue. We were over where the offices were,
Mhm.
and we heard and captured it on a recorder. We heard a woman's voice audibly out loud.
Uh-huh.
And if anybody else has been there, when you're walking through, if you walk down that hallway in the basement, you end up coming into, like, I guess it was the cafeteria. So that
Yeah.
should tell people where it was at. But in
Yeah.
that hallway, maybe someone can try to recreate what happened. In that
Mhm.
hallway, at the beginning of that hallway, there is there's an old light that barely lights up, and there is like a toy blackbird, and it's hanging up there. It's kind of creepy looking, but it's hanging up on the above the door frame, and it was there both times that we went, so it should still be there. I don't know if it was like part of a haunted house prop or if it's just something they put up, but that's where it happened. That's where we captured. I mean, we were just standing there and we clearly heard the woman say something to us, and it freaked us out, and we picked it up on the recorder perfectly.
Yeah.
And we were the only people in the basement, and we couldn't hear anybody else talking. So
Yeah.
that was pretty neat. And then there was an investigator, James Cummings, was with us, and me and Brittany and James were somewhere, third floor maybe,
I
out
think it was the third
I
floor.
think in the third floor. And I don't. People's going to say that I'm crazy. 'Cause I am kind of crazy. I mean, I admit that. But there was a situation where a all this we're standing there, and we start seeing there's like a glow that kind of just comes in amongst us. It's weird, it's hard to describe. And it was
Yeah.
it was green, so it was like Slimer on
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. But anyway, there's this odd faint green glow start kind of being in between us. And I look to my left, and I'm standing up against basically up against the wall, and Brittany, and then James is across from me. And I look against the wall, and there's like a greenish hue, like
Mhm.
hovering right there in the wall, and then it like moves over onto my shoulder and causes me to, like, shit, you know. And we
That's
have
pretty.
I have no idea what that was, and there was
Yeah.
no we
I
had
don't
no
know.
we didn't have any equipment that was emitting a green light.
Mm-mm.
And even if it emitted a green light, there was no equipment floating in the air beside me. So whatever
Yeah.
that was, I don't know if it was Slimer. How's it going, little man? But I don't know. um
And I will say that unless you unless you want to really get a workout and you're really excited about it, don't walk all the way to the bottom of the death tunnel.
yeah, no kidding.
There's nothing down there. There's nothing
Yeah,
down there.
it's just a door.
It's a gate. It's a gate, um, and some grass. That's it. There's nothing down there, and it's a really long walk down and a really long walk back up. And the first time I went, I walked down there for it, and since then I'm like, no, y'all do your thing. I'm gonna stay at the top. Just don't. It's not. It's not
I've
worth
been
it.
there twice, and both times, even the second time, my knee wasn't a whole lot better. I've
Yeah.
still yet to walk to the bottom of the death
Yeah.
tunnel.
Yeah. Don't
But
do it.
and I don't know that, and this should tell it all, because we're down to 9 minutes left on the show, and so we got to move on to our favorite. But
Gotta go.
myself, just so you can check Waverly Hills off your bucket list, I'm
Hmm.
gonna say thumbs up and go. But I
Yeah.
would not, maybe because I expected so much. I expected ghosts to sit down and talk to me, and I expected to see apparitions waving at me, and none of that happened. Maybe I expected too much.
Think I would suggest doing a public the first time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
with the public, doing a public the first time. Um, that way you're only out like $100
yeah.
because it's $100 a person. You could get like 3 or 4 of your friends and jump in on a public and do an overnight. I think I think a private overnight, I don't remember if it's 1,000 or 1,500 now.
I think it's
Uh,
1,500, but don't
but
quote me. Don't quote me.
yeah, it's 8 hours. So I would suggest, and it's just, it's a strict start time and finish time. I would suggest trying a public first.
Yeah, that would probably be the best way to go.
Yeah, I think so.
And you would get to experience it at the
Yeah,
least to see if it's something
yeah,
you
and
like.
see if you want to come back and do a private. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So this last place that we're going to talk about, and there's so much that we could have talked the whole show
we could have.
about
Yeah,
St. Albans or any of these locations,
yeah,
but this was a show to help people decide. The last place is currently, as far as I know, still not being able to be rented out,
yeah,
but I look for it to make a roaring comeback,
yeah.
and it's a place that a lot of people don't talk about, but
Not
once
super well known.
no, it's not super well known, but once I went, um, the beauty is A1. The surrounding area
Mhm.
is A1.
Yeah,
Um, and that is Sweet Springs Sanatorium in Sweet Springs. I guess that is Virginia,
I
even
think
though
it's
it's
considered Gap Meals.
yeah, Gap
Gap
Mills.
Meals, West
Yeah.
Virginia.
It's
Yeah,
if it's like 20 minutes from the Greenbrier, 25 minutes from Greenbrier Resort for anyone
yeah.
who kind of understands where that's at. And the Greenbrier was built, this place was built in the 1700s,
Hmm.
and it was a location people from Washington D.C. vacation there.
Yeah,
And the Greenbrier took its thunder from it. But
yeah.
but Sweet Springs is is one of the most beautiful from the
West of
outside, the
Ferguson.
grounds. It's one of the most beautiful, most peaceful, and most terrifying places that you could ever go in your entire life.
100%.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
100%.
Yeah, and not to mention it has a spring there,
Uh-huh.
um, and they literally turned it into a swimming pool back in the day, and
Yeah.
people that's what it was known for was healing springs.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
Helen Springs.
yeah, you may have seen. I know Nick and what's her name went there. Nick and Katrina.
Nick and
Uh,
Katrina went there. Destination Fear has been there.
yeah,
Destination Fear, it's a big location for them. It was one of the maybe the first locations that they went to when they
yeah,
started their show.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think you're right, and
yeah.
um,
That's how I discovered it.
that's yet another place. You have a couple of different options. You can
Hmm.
sleep in the building
Hmm.
when it opens back up, folks. I'm sorry, but
Yes,
uh,
it's not open right now.
saying that it opens back up, you can
Yeah.
sleep in the building, which is I always recommend
Yes.
because you really get a feel for the place. Or
Hmm.
they actually have an old house that they restored rather beautifully that you
Uh-huh.
can also rent and stay in, and
Yeah.
you've got modern amenities in that house. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's old. It's an old house that was restored.
It is.
We never really investigated it, but who knows? You know.
No, I'm sure that there's some kind of activity there, but I like you. I like staying in the building.
Yes, I like staying in the buildings. And
Yeah.
in case we run out of time, because we're down to like
Hmm.
5 freaking minutes, I'm going to say that Sweet Springs is two thumbs up, and my toes are also pointing up.
Yeah.
It is, it is I've had, so I don't know, I couldn't count the personal experiences
Yeah.
that I've had at Sweet Springs. I couldn't
Yeah.
count them all.
Sweet Springs, and like we said, Sweet Springs is the one that actually replaced St. Albans with us
Yes.
because our experiences have been so off the charts there.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
fantastic.
it is one building that, and I told Chad this before. I went the first time, and he didn't go the first time. I think you've been a couple of times now though, but the first time I told you you've got to go to this place. It is amazing,
Yeah.
and there's nothing like it. And I never feel comfortable in there. I always feel like I need to watch my back.
Yeah,
Always.
that is so strange because like you go to these locations
Hmm.
and you may set a voice recorder in a room because you thought you
Hmm.
might have heard something, so you'll just leave a voice recorder
Oh yeah, yeah,
and all the time I just mosey back and get the voice recorder. It's no big deal. I'm not afraid.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Sweet
yeah.
Springs is the only place that you find yourself asking, is anybody else going to be going to the second floor today? Because I
Because
got
I'm
something
not
to
walking up there by myself.
go. And
Yes.
um, it is, oh my goodness, man.
Oh
It
gosh.
is it is fantastic. I mean, we had so many things happen. I had one experience. I'm not even going to talk about it. I talked about it today, but I'm
Yeah.
not going to talk about it. I had one experience happen there that definitely never happened anywhere else.
So cool.
Uh, that shook
And
me and yeah, actually caused me to put my hands on my knees and sort of have to take a minute.
it,
Um,
it scared him a little bit.
it scared me a little bit. Yeah,
It scared him a little
it
bit.
changed me there for about an hour.
Yeah.
But we had what, 10 people? We had
Yeah.
10 people there,
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was
and
10 of us.
all 10 of us were together at 3 o'clock in the morning
Hmm.
watching a hallway, and all 10 of us saw a full body apparition
Yes.
appear and move from the left side of the hallway and across to the other side and disappear
And then gone.
and gone.
Yes.
And no place for it to go.
No. No.
And we,
No. No possible. Nothing. No headlights from outside, lights from outside. None of that. None
nothing.
of that was possible.
No, no, it was, and there was 10 of us that seen it. It was crazy, creepy, and amazing.
It was.
And
It was.
your video froze, and you look
It,
super cool in your frozen position. And it didn't happen until we talked about Sweet
uh,
Springs.
please do not leave that on there.
Oh, that's gonna be the logo to my show right
No,
there.
it's not.
It's gonna say Gina Ferguson says to definitely tune in to the
Uh,
McKenzie Hour. And you
yes,
know,
yes.
we ran out of time before we could really delve into Sweet Springs, but I hope that the listeners out there that's going to hear this show and may hear it later on, uh, please take our word for it. If Sweet Springs opens back up for
Go
investigations,
run as fast
yes,
as you can.
yes, rent it for the weekend. Because if you rent it
Mhm.
for one night, you will kick yourself in the ass the whole way
Yes.
home that you didn't get a second night in that
Yep.
place.
Do it.
Do it and go to the basement. Go stand. There's a fireplace so big that you can stand in it.
Yeah.
There's slave quarters in the basement. There was Sweet Springs bottle company. They made spring water there, and the factory is right beside it. Go look in the windows and check it out. It looks like where Laverne and Shirley worked. Um,
Yeah.
but Gina, this show, it's over. We're out of time. So
Um,
I would like to first thank you for being my first guest
you're
as I have
welcome.
come back to paranormal radio
Making his
and
comeback.
making my comeback faster, bigger and faster, not stronger, not faster, older,
Yeah.
probably less witty. But I can tell everyone, Nighthawk Radio is up and coming. We are adding shows. Go to our website. If you're listening to this, if you're not listening on the website, go to nighthawkradio.com. Go to the shows part and look and read about all the different shows. Um, like the ladies that come on before me, Two Girls, One Cut, they discuss serial killers. You don't hear that much on podcast. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Joe and Tracy with Awakening Radio, Seth shows. We got a presidential candidate that has a show, the William Hunt Show. So
Huh.
um,
Cool.
yeah, hang out on Nighthawk. There's changes coming to the website. We're going to have a chat room that you can join and chat and get to meet people, and you can ask questions during the shows and get answers. So check us out and come back next week and check my show out. Um,
Yes.
the McKenzie Hour, formerly Paranormally Correct. So I will say goodbye to you, Miss Gina. Say goodbye to the listeners, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.